Qatar has many local and international banks for daily needs. If we talk about local banks in Qatar, Qatar Central Bank regulates all commercial banks, including Doha Bank, Qatar Islamic Bank, International Bank of Qatar, and QNB. But if we talk about international banks, HSBC and Standard Chartered Bank are well established in Qatar. First, let's talk about national banks in Qatar. Major commercial banks in Qatar include Qatar National Bank, QNB. It's the largest commercial bank in Qatar and also the largest financial institution in the Middle East. Doha Bank. Then comes Commercial Bank of Qatar. It's the largest private bank of Qatar. Then we have Ahli Bank and Qatar Development Bank. Now let's talk about Islamic banks in Qatar. Islamic banking institutions are based on the principle of Sharia, that's an Islamic law. Since 2011, only Sharia-compliant banks can offer Islamic banking services, but both Muslims and non-Muslims can have access to them. The Islamic banks in Qatar are Qatar Islamic Bank, QIB. It's the largest Islamic bank in Qatar and the second largest bank in the country by assets. Then we have Masraf Al Rayan. It's the second largest Islamic bank in Qatar. After that comes Barwa Bank. It was established in 2008 and it's the youngest Islamic bank in Qatar, we can say. And then comes Qatar International Islamic Bank, QIIB. It's a privately owned Islamic bank. Now let's talk about international banks. Here we have 8 foreign banks operating in Qatar. Arab Bank, Mashriq Bank, HSBC Bank Middle East, BNP Paribas, Bank Sidarat Iran, United Bank Limited UBL, Standard Chartered Bank and Barclays Bank. So now let's talk about the general information. By completing an online application, you can open a bank account before traveling to Qatar. But you will need to bring more paperwork to the bank in person no later than 90 days after you arrive. Usually, people open their bank account at the same bank that their employers use because the money lands in the account on the same day when transferred. But if you choose to transfer your salary to another account, you won't be charged. Most bank services are pretty similar to each other. Standard banking facilities such as current and saving accounts, internet banking, and debit and credit cards are available at most banks. All major credit cards are accepted at ATMs that are usually accessible throughout the country at supermarkets, gas stations, and shopping centers. It's important to know that services and information at most local banks are available in both Arabic and English. If we talk about the opening hours of banks in Qatar, it's usually from 7:30 to 1 Sunday to Thursday. The branches of banks in shopping malls have more flexible hours and are also open from 10 to 10. This short video was made for visitors to Qatar and for those who are curious about the types of banking that are offered here. If you found this information useful, please like the video and think about subscribing to the channel for more. Take care.